Sometimes in life, you find yourself on the right side of the line.
If you had a mullet, it would be out of business in the front and party in the back.
Sorry about tomorrow.
What's the point of the wife beater?
Live from Texas, this is the Dryline Farmer Podcast. You hear that? It's Brent and Landon, and this is the Dryline Farmer Podcast.
Thank you, Ashton. It is the Dryline Farmer Podcast, and I am Brent Carlson, joined as always with me, Landon Nolan. Landon, has life changed any for you in the last week?
Not much.
Well, at least you have a lot to say about it.
Still living large.
That's great. Well, guy, continue. I don't want to cut you off. You were on a roll there.
I was going to say living at large, but that's just kind of a joke.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're still going to the Y, aren't you?
I do. Still working out.
Yeah, that's nice. I haven't been to the Y in a long time. I don't know why, but whatever the
Don't
case.
you see how much of a screen I'm taking up? I'm huge. I'm huge, Brent. I'm huge.
It's gold, Jerry. Gold. Oh, man. Well, it's great to be back here. We're getting ready to go to another heifer show here in a few days, so we're been getting stuff all ready for that and making rounds. And I kind of.
Were those more fun when you were single?
I tell you what, man, it was a whole lot easier with the baggage I've got now. A 9 and a 10-year-old boy, and then that wife. It just really cramps. It really cramps your game. Something awful.
Different kind of heifer show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're taking calves to the show. Yeah, Midnight Rodeo is not what it used to be, man. Let me tell you. Yeah. No, so we're doing that, and I hesitate to say I got a pretty good rain the other day, so I've got sprinklers off, so I won't have to worry about anybody watching stuff while I'm gone. So that's really a nice thing to have. But you don't really say you get a rain when you look on the map and know that none of your friends or whatever you might want to call them, your acquaintances, didn't get anything. So
whatever. That's when you text them and ask them how much rain they got.
Yeah, that's true. That's always a good time to rub that kind of stuff in. So yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk weather. We're not here to talk farming, because why would you do that on a farmer podcast? We're talking, and we actually came up with this ahead of time, and we stuck with it. We mentioned at the end of the last episode that we thought it would be kind of cool. You know, there's service dogs. Everybody's got their service dog. They've got a service camel. They've got a service peacock. They've got a service guinea pig, and they've all got the swell little vests on. And I don't know how they get qualified or how they get that sort of recognition. But whatever the case, everybody's got their own service animal, it seems like. Well, we was that a word I just said, Keena? Kind of. We came up with our own list of service dogs and what kind of services we really think would be more practical for everyday human use. So we're going to get into that this week. I think we're really going to have a really good episode for you. I'm really counting on it. I think Landon's really going to bring his A game, and he's going to carry.
Actually, used a pen on this episode.
Yeah, I know. I've got mine. It's already dried out. I had to go to a pencil, but whatever the case, it's pretty positive. But so we're going to get to that here in a little bit. I was watching TV just a little earlier, and I was watching, of course, The Office, because why? It was on. And in between, they had the commercials, and there was a Verizon commercial, and like the first shot was of one of their guys climbing one of their 200-foot tall cell towers. And for some reason, I just happened to catch all the fine print at the bottom of the screen. It says, "This is a Verizon paid contractor. Please do not attempt to do this." This guy is at the top of a 200-foot cell tower. Who is doing that for free? I mean, I guess probably if they want to do a TikTok or something. But Landon, is it ever interested you to climb a 200-foot tall cell phone tower just because you saw it on TV? I mean, it wasn't Jackass.
I gotta change that bulb. No, I've had to climb some legs at the old co-op, and it's kind of cool when you get up there and you can see all the circles, the crops and whatnot. But it is not fun climbing those things.
Yeah, but you have that squirrel cage that saves you, doesn't it?
Not on all of them, or not back then.
Now, are all the bolts? Are they're not? None of them are rusty, are they?
I don't know.
Now, where do you hook your safety belt to?
See, no, where I worked, we actually did have that. We had a cable that you hooked to safety. I was the only one that had a safety belt.
Sweet.
Even though the intro, I probably should say, is every location had a safety belt.
Yeah,
and a
of
cable
course they do. Why
and
would
cages
they? Yeah, cages
and a spotter, all
uh-huh.
that good stuff.
and a trampoline at the bottom of the elevator too, or something.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like climbing up a ladder connected to something that's falling apart.
Yeah,
to
right.
go up and work on it.
So I'll never forget. I was watching one of the guys, some elevator, and they were climbing the leg. I don't know what company it was, but whatever the case, I was looking at, and it's so not disconcerting, but it really kind of jumbles up your senses, because when you look up straight up at the leg and there's these little clouds passing by, man, it just really gets you all out of whack. And I'm just waiting for this guy to come screaming down the side of the leg, and he holds on for dear life. Of course, they've got these landings about every, I don't know, 20 feet or something. So
yeah, I know the one at Gray's. I don't know how tall it is. I just always say 100 feet. There's like 2 landings, so about every 35 feet or so.
See, if it were me, I wouldn't call them landings.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, let's be honest here. Granted, if you fall, huh? Checkpoints, or
what's scary though is you get to these checkpoints, and before you get to the cage, it's like 15 feet in the air before you get to the cage. So you're like, okay, I can't. There's like a 4-foot area in there where if you fall, you're screwed.
Yeah. I wonder if the cages saved people, or are they just there kind of for the shits of it.
I've heard of at least twice that it saved somebody.
That it saved somebody. Yeah. No,
not break an arm, but you
won't die.
Spine stays intact.
Right. Yeah. No, it's I've always been fascinated by them because they're just I don't know. They were made the last elevator I've ever seen was made in the 50s. So I don't think they've built an elevator since then. But whatever the case.
I don't think any of the stories I heard were from us, but just talking with insurance guys and stuff.
Yeah. No, like I said,
insurance guys have some stories.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine an insurance guy might have a story or two. Like I said, I don't know what company this was, but it wasn't the co-op, but whatever the case, I was just watching this guy, and he was, it was so disjointing and everything. So yeah. But well, guys, we're gonna get to it. We've got dogs on the mind, and again, this is not about going out to the bar. So we're going to get to that right after this segue sound effect on the Dryline Farmer Podcast.
I love my dog. He's my best friend.
Is that? You think that's Robert Earl?
Yeah.
I mean, this is like some Grammy stuff.
My only friend.
Good.
All right, guys. Well, we're not here to just push new music on you. We're here to actually make a hand and everything. Well, guys, okay, service dogs. Everybody sees them. Not everybody loves them. And if it's a true service dog and you're at any kind of like barbecue or local community, function, and it barks, chances are that ain't a service dog, because any true service dog I've seen doesn't make a freaking peep. And on top of that, like, you'll see the dog, like, you'll be talking to somebody that's got the service dog and they're holding them on a leash. If that dog even like kind of twitches or like shakes his ears a little bit, like the owner gets all pissed off. Is like, no, stop. I'm like, he didn't do anything. He's just scratching not his ball. I don't have balls anymore, but he's just, but like they just barely move, or they like breathe hard. They always get onto him, and I don't know why that is. I guess it's part of their training or something, but whatever the case, man, if that dog just barely moves, they're just like, no, Zadie, Wilbur, or whatever. I don't know. It's not a pig, but whatever the case, it's always
So
interesting.
they act like a married couple.
Yeah, I know, right? Like been married for like 57 years or 57 weeks or whatever. But whatever the case, it's an interesting relationship. So service dogs, we wish we had. Now, Landon, I'm going to go ahead and let you start. I know you've got some good stuff here. What's kind of something you would like to see a service dog be able to, dole out?
I would like to have a service dog that could tell me when one of my favorite songs is on the radio and what station.
Okay, so
I don't know how that would happen, but
now for those of us who don't know, a radio is what?
they're in cars.
Okay, yeah, because they have these things called online apps like Pandora and SoundCloud. And while
Not
we're
the same, man. I don't know how to explain it, but it's different hearing one of your favorite songs on the radio by chance than it is just pushing play to it.
Okay, the way I see it, I'm trying to get into your thought process here. It's kind of like finding a parking spot close to the building. It's not a question of laziness. It's just a question of pride and you've succeeded at something in life. If you, as George said in Seinfeld, parking garage. It's like going to a prostitute. Why pay for it when if I exert myself, maybe I can get it for free? Oh man, is there crickets or something? Anyway, I don't know. But whatever the case, that's a great quote from George Costanza. But yeah, okay, I see it. It's kind of a pride thing. You wait and wait. Now you were probably the guy, and I did the same thing too. Would you sit at the house in the evening and wait with the tape on to set record to wait for your favorite song to come on and bootleg it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did that myself.
Yeah, I know. I remember when I discovered classic rock, man. I would sit at home and play video games and have an empty tape in there ready to hit record.
You had a full childhood.
There's nothing like getting 2/3 of a good song.
Yeah. And then the first 15 seconds of the commercial that follows it. Come try.
That song has a good intro. It does.
Come by Radio Shack for 50% off all batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good
All right,
one.
Brent. Service dog. What's he going to be alerting you to?
So, I would think a blind date service dog. Back. Of course, this is more kind of back in the day, like when Landon's listening to the radio, whatever that is. But you're a blind date. You've got your dog with you. You're pulling up to the chick's house, and the dog starts kind of whining or moaning or something like that. You can just drive on. You can just absolutely, because back then maybe they had your phone number, but they didn't really. I mean, unless you lived in the city or something. The dog would maybe just kind of go like this. I don't know. Or maybe you'd have more than one dog. Just kind of. that would just, or, I don't know. Maybe, I think that would be just a really good tool. It would really just save everybody a whole lot of heartache. Maybe if he did this, I don't know.
Would it be like on Tinder? Like if he stood to the right of you, it'd be like swiping right, or to the left, swiping left.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you heard this or something.
Can a dog smell an Uggo if you're walking up the driveway?
Or maybe something like, if the dog does this, it's really trouble. That's what I'm thinking. This has totally screwed my timing up. Okay, so some of these aren't loud enough. I'm trying to get whining dogs here. You pull up to the girl's house, and that didn't work. Whatever the case, these are sound effects that of a dog whining. Anyway, so I would think that would really save a whole lot of heartache and a whole lot of trouble. You pull up to they can smell. I don't know how far away a dog can smell, but whatever the case, it's close enough to get you out of a bind. So,
And if it was back in my blind dating phase, I'd be walking up to the house and I'd hear a dog inside whining.
It's like be like a bald alarm or something.
I guess she's not home.
Yeah, man, that's the second time this week. She said she was going to be here too. It's just all I ever hear is a dog. Oh man, yeah. So a blind date service dog, it would really be. That would have been helpful back in the day. Which I don't even know if I ever went on a blind date. I always had.
I shouldn't have told them my real income, but
yeah, I don't know why you filled that part out, Landon. Good Lord, at least lie. Yeah, you're going to start off on a lie with a relationship, but hell, that's better than not having one at all. So I don't know.
That's true.
Whatever the case. Okay, so this one kind of came right to the top of my list since I'm so guilty of this many times throughout the week. That's a foot in the mouth service dog. When this dog starts, when you're talking with somebody, or more importantly, you're talking with somebody about somebody, and you're about to say something that's probably, about their friend or whatever, and you're going to say something that's just really offensive and something that's just really going to piss them off, and you have these dogs, you're about to stick your foot in your mouth, and it's just something that happens to me, I don't want to say on a daily basis, but whatever the case, it's something that, I just wish the dog would that would require probably like a bite, I would say, more than a bark,
Yeah. Yeah, a little nip.
Yeah, a little nip at the leg or something or like that. And it's just, I don't know. I think it would really, of course, if I just thought before I spoke, I guess it would probably be, a little more advantageous for me than just doing that. So I don't know. Landon, do you have much of the problem with that?
Oh, probably. I just really don't worry about what I say usually, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've had those instances where I actually stop and think about what I'm going to say and then say it anyway.
Yeah.
And then I go ahead and do regret it later.
I usually do an audit later and I'm like, ooh, probably should.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
It's always after the fact. It's kind of like when you hit a ball, you hit OB or something, or you kind of top it, it's still in play, but you go ahead and hit a mulligan or something like that, or you hit a provisional, and it's always right down the center. It's like it's always the second time, every time.
Or if you miss that 10-foot putt and you take another one, I never hit another one for practice because they always go in.
Yeah. And it's and you don't even see the second one, you just hit it. You don't have your little practice strokes or whatever. You just hit it. And I mean, it could be like a 4-foot breaker on a 10-foot putt, and it's it always works. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I think that would be really, really advantageous to have something like that. And this wouldn't have been for me because it wouldn't have been necessary, but I sure wish there'd have been 80 million voter service dogs about 6 months ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
If you had a dog that would say, no, you cannot vote for a dumbass, and they would just start going, just going wild. Except 80 million times, that just all the time, just back and forth. Man.
What is that noise? What is that noise coming from New York?
Yeah, New York and LA. It's just dogs just whining at the moon. Man, if it had been a full moon that night, we'd still have Trump as president. And it's just the world would be such a different place if we had 80 million service dogs for voter ID or voter suppression or something. I don't know. It's something else. I don't know. All right, Landon, your turn.
Oh, let's see. Maybe a dog that would alert before my mom calls.
Now, I know you have a cheap phone, but you do have caller ID.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. What about, I don't know if the wife gets upset, or if she likes to shop, or is there any kind of support animal for husbands in general for their wives? Maybe if you ask them what's wrong and they say nothing, would the dog just start going,
Yeah. Anytime your wife asks how she looks in something, the dog's just hitting you to shut up.
Yeah. I mean, of course, on the flip side of the coin, if you're talking to your wife and your dog starts, that might just piss them off to begin with,
Yeah.
Maybe have a silent whistle, because if the wife hears this when she starts talking,
yeah, the dog has a whistle that only you can hear.
Only you can hear, yeah. And
honey, what's wrong?
Honey, why do you always have a headache when we're talking?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you start barking.
Every time your wife asks a question and she looks back, you just have a dog paw over your face.
Yeah. Okay. Or how about this? What about when your wife is in the mood and she's too subtle about it? Of course, I guess dogs are already pretty good about that because they go to humping legs at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, to be honest, guys kind of bark when they know they're getting lucky that night anyway. So, it's and then after it's over with, you go outside, you tell all your buddies. I mean, I don't really do that, but I think it'd be kind of funny if guys like barked after they had sex. It'd be kind of funny. But I don't know. I guess we have evolved a little ways since that. So yeah. Also, on radar detectors, I have one. I don't use it anymore. I used to have one. A dog radar detector. Well, no, back when we were in college, a dog party, buster service dog. They could sense the cops coming from 3 blocks away. You could start your run or whatever, and the whole party could just vanish into the back alley or whatever. That would have been really helpful.
That would have been good at an underage drinking party.
Yeah, underage drinking party, exactly. Just they start barking, you haul ass. You get drunk, and then they start doing this, and you just go to your car and try to make it home. It's just one of those things. Go hide in the attic, or maybe, I don't know, behind a bush or something while you're holding your Truly or your. Back in the day, it was Keystone, so
Yeah.
it was. I guess it's still the.
I wish there was a service dog you could take in when you're asking for a raise, and so anytime your boss is giving you the reasons why they can't do it, it just starts barking. Until finally they're like, all right, we can do something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's because it's a pit bull and you're holding him with a log chain. He's got 3 kittens in one side of his mouth. He's like, if you don't give me a 50-cent an hour raise,
Every time the boss says no, you just let a little more slack out.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be such an awesome scene in the office building. Nick, bring your human resources guy and your service dog with you, and just let him just freaking go wild. Yeah.
So Brent, let's mix it up here. What would be some things that nobody would ever need an alert dog for?
Most single guys, and I'm going to steal this from Landon. Do you want to dance service dog? Because chances are, if the girl has a service dog, she's going to already have that dog trained. At least, so you hear the dog barking, but at least you don't hear the no. That's really hard on a dude's psyche at the Midnight Rodeo. Instead of hearing that, you hear this. It's like, okay, I get it. No. Yeah.
So, dude, I was totally going to score, but then I got chased off by a dog.
Yeah, I heard this. Yeah, it's just, oh man. But it didn't hurt because it wasn't a no. Or even a scowling look or an eye roll. It's just so much more positive for the heart. You just move on to the next one. So,
or not I'm really tired.
Yeah, exactly. Some bullshit excuse like that. Yeah. So it's no, I would think that would be a good reason not to have.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You'd never need that because you know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, 99% of the time,
right.
That's what it was anyway.
Right.
But I would say no one would ever need an alert dog to tell them when their check engine light is on because that thing is always on.
Yeah. Yeah. Just put a piece of tape over it and just go on.
Yeah.
I actually saw a tweet about that today. Says, are you nervous when your check engine light is always on? Or are you more nervous when the check engine light finally burns out? I thought that was really really spot on.
Good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see. Who else would not, something that's just, goes without barking, I guess you would say. Yeah, it's one of those things that, you could go back to college and anytime, you try to hook up or whatever, it's just, you're always going to hear, it'd be this every time. So
yeah,
it
would be good to have one alert when somebody in the room is farted.
Yeah.
Maybe a silent and deadly one. Like it just starts pulling you.
Yeah. Instead of everybody looking at each other, their own personal dog will just do this.
Or on top of that, if it would just go point out the person who farted.
Yeah. Just like if you have like an English setter or something like that, or a short-haired whatever, I don't know all the dogs, but just sitting there with a tail straight out and a leg pointing at the dude that just cracked one open. Yeah.
And on the vest it says shame.
Yeah. Shame dog. Yeah. This is my shame dog, Shelly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what you would get out of that, but it would be, at least you're not getting blamed for it. Because most of the time, the dog is getting blamed for it.
What would the vest on your alert dog say?
Oh.
I was stupid.
Yeah. I went to obedience school and all I got was a stupid vest or something. Yeah. I don't know.
So, I'm not as spank as you drunk I am.
Yeah. Female body inspector or something like that.
There you go.
It's like, hey,
There you
your
go.
dog's sniffing my crack. Well,
Yeah.
you know, it's that time. It's that time, you know. So anyway, and he's fixed
beats
too.
me.
It's what the strange thing is. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
it's let's see. Do you want to eat? I would think because everybody in America always wants to eat, so that would be kind of an easy one there. Yeah. I don't know. Want to go play golf? That would be easy. Never need a dog for that.
No.
No, it's not. It's just one of those things. It's it's coming up on harvest time. We need a dog that can just sense the moisture. That way we
That
ain't
would be good.
that way we ain't got to spend all our time hiding it in the back hopper when we pull
There
up
you
to
go.
the
Yeah.
when we pull up
never
to the
check
scale
there.
house. Yeah, so that'd be nice to know where the 18 plus moisture corn is going to be. That way, or they're going to tell us which hopper the probe is going to go into. That would be really advantageous because two old guys, they're retired now, but by God, they wouldn't let you know where they're going to where they're going to pump the probe at.
Got to keep them guessing.
That's right. Anyway, it's one of those great things. But now, fortunately, now you have guys that don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Do our guys now even probe?
They just write down 15 and a half and go on,
Yeah.
man. I've never had
Yeah.
my shrink has never been so good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Like, how do 20 loads all have the exact same test? That's amazing.
Dude, these are some badass farmers, man. They got 15 and a half moisture on the nose. And they got 62-pound test weight, man. It's and 0 cracks too. That's
Yeah.
what blows my
Yeah,
mind.
every time. So consistency.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, Landon, not everybody could be like us.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a great time to be alive. Great time to be alive. Well, guys, Landon, you got anything else? We're gonna get out of here.
I'm good. My dog's telling me it's time for bed.
Yeah, it's time for bed. The dog's barking at me, so he's telling me I'm getting sleepy and gonna have to hit the head, but or the hay, whatever the case. But Landon, before we get out of here, tell us where everybody can find you on the social media thing.
You can find me at NoTwitLandon44.
That's right. Landon's all over the Twitterverse with that. And you can find me at Trader Brent. I'll tweet this episode out via that account. And, of course, we're also exclusive. Well, I guess we're exclusively on the Global Ag Network. But they do a lot of the legwork. And they disseminate it out to all the different places. SoundCloud, Stitcher, you name it, it's on there. I bet it's on Mars somewhere, like on the dark side. But anyway, we're there. Check us out. And go ahead and give us a rating and review on iTunes. Be clever. And like I said, if it's a bad review, give us a clever one and we'll read it on the air because we hate you. And, tell all your friends how much you hate it because really any publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad publicity. So on that note, but guys, y'all check all that stuff out. And until next time, we'll ask you, what side of the line are you on?
The Dryline Farmer Podcast, a member of the Global Ag Network. There's podcasts, and then there's this, the Dryline Farmer Podcast.